its ups and downs. Turn your pretty face into an ugly frown. Seems that when I fix one thing.
Hello, welcome to The Awakening. I'm your host, Angela Brown. Today's topic for discussion is going to be update today on the city. But before we start, Diane Polangin is here, and we're going to discuss the breast cancer. She's on the board, and it's very, very important that we get the word out. So sit back, watch, and enjoy. Welcome, Diane.
Thank you, Angie. It seems like this is the only way we get to see each other anymore.
We don't see each other any other way.
I know it. It's just terrible. We
I'm
need
running
to
one
change
way, and you're
something.
running one way. All right, talk to me a little bit about breast cancer. I just did a show on update on breast cancer.
Well, I'm glad you did. It's so important. I mean, October's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but so many people have taken October as any awareness month. And the reason they do that is because people are now home from vacation, school has started, life is back to normal. So if I ask you for money or make you aware of something in October, your life is back to normal, you can pay attention to that.
Yes.
However, women have breasts every day of their life, so they shouldn't just think about it in October.
Right.
But the awareness is there in October to at least be sure you get your mammogram. Now, I'm very proud of my girls. They've all had their baseline mammogram. My one daughter has had 4 mammograms already, and my other daughter had her baseline, and now she's on her second mammogram.
Good.
So, you know, they knew it was something they had to do. I'm certified by the Cancer Society to teach breast self-exam.
I know you are.
And I know they talked about that breast self-exam is not an important thing anymore. That's what some news people were reporting, that, and no, it does no good if you don't do it regularly.
Exactly.
And they neglected to say that, but if you do it regularly, you know the changes in your breast, and you know what should be there and should not be there. And I'll tell you, most of the time, for the women who don't do it regularly, it's their husbands or their boyfriends that find the lump.
Really?
Yes. Yes, because they're doing it regularly.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
I mean, for you, you know.
Yeah. But it's a very serious thing, and I think everyone should do that.
Yes, one of my daughter's friends was taking a shower, and she was washing under her armpits, and she said, "Oh." And so she went to her husband. She said, "Do you feel a lump? Do you feel a lump?" He said, "Yeah, that's been there for a while."
What?
Well, he didn't know. He's like, "Well, I don't know girls' bodies."
Yeah.
She had stage 4 breast cancer.
Oh my God.
So, and why she didn't feel it before, I have no idea. I mean, it was fairly large.
Oh.
So it's really very important for women to learn.
What's her prognosis now, Diane? What is her prognosis?
She's not good.
Not good.
Not good. That's all I can say.
Right.
I don't want to put a jinx on it. I
No,
want to say she's going to be okay.
We won't do that.
And I've known her for years because she's one of my daughter's friends from school. So, you know, it's like another daughter.
Yes.
And so I just want women to be aware and to learn breast self-exam if they want to learn. If they don't know how to do it, call me. I'm certified.
We can do it right here on the studio. We can do it right here in the studio.
Well, actually, I've done it in the studio. I did a show in the studio, and we could probably pull the old tape and run it. It's a tape. It would have to go on a VCR, but we could probably do that and run it. Now, of course, then you'll see, oh, look how thin she was.
Oh, come on, Diane. You look good, young and sexy, and you work your ass off.
But this was very good because I taught the breast self-exam, and it showed how the mammogram was done. Now, it's an old mammogram machine, but now they're digital, and they're phenomenal.
Really?
The digital machines.
Yeah.
You get that reading immediately, and the picture is so clear. There is just like no mistaking what you're looking at. But it still shows you the mammogram. It shows how they read the mammogram. And the most important thing is it shows the breast self-exam and how it's done. But if
Okay.
anybody has a little club they belong to and they'd like me to come out and teach it to their women, the women in their church, I'd be more than happy to do it. They just need to get in touch
And she's
with
very
me.
good at what she does. But you do so much. You're like me. I don't have 5 minutes to call my own.
I know.
I haven't been to the gym in a couple of months.
Well,
I know. I got to put some weight back on. But I don't starve myself, Diane. It's just that I'm not very hungry. Because, I lost my child.
yeah,
And
I know. I
the
don't-
last thing I think about is food. In the beginning, I was eating cake and ice cream. I was drinking lots of soda. And that's not good for my body. But I do 30 miles every morning on a stationary bike. That's my goal every day. I have to do it, or I don't feel good.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this.
How are you getting on now since
Am I
your son
getting on
passed?
now? Oh, gee, I cry every day.
Yeah.
Have one good cry. And I'm getting to the point in my bedroom, I have a picture of him on the wall. I have his favorite jacket. And I give that a hug and kiss every morning when I get up. And I've noticed I haven't been crying as much when
That's
I do
your
it.
second son.
My second son, one was murdered and one died.
I absolutely don't know how you
I don't
live
know.
with
I
it.
don't know how, but I think God doesn't give us anything we can't handle.
Well, that's true. That's
I
true.
do believe that with all my heart. So
I believe that we're not taken to troubled waters to drown us, but to cleanse us.
to cleanse
So,
us, yeah, and it makes you think how precious life really is.
Yes, indeed,
And-
indeed.
Okay, let's go on.
Okay, well, I'm glad you can have a really open attitude.
What do you like the most about being on the city council? Talk, talk, talk.
I really enjoy the constituent service.
Okay.
I enjoy being able to help people. When they have a problem, they give me a
And
call.
you do it very well.
Yeah,
You're right
yeah.
there, Diane.
I'm there
Yes, you are.
when they call, and that's important because I want people to feel really connected to our city.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way you're going to feel connected is if you make a call and somebody responds to
Mm-hmm.
you. So that's my ultimate favorite part, is to be able to know
Mm-hmm.
that I helped you and it made you happy and
Right.
happy to live in Bowie.
But see, you also give yourself a good projection because if you just say you're going to do something, you do it.
Absolutely.
I'm the same way. People call me, even after my son had died, didn't even know it. I still did things
Yeah.
because I feel that was my job to do. And you got to
Yeah.
keep your word, and I know you keep yours.
Yes, and the constituents become your family.
Yes.
And it's hard. I've lost several constituents this year, and granted they were in their 90s, but
still.
still, one of the ladies, she was 96, sweetest thing in the world. For like 4 years, we've been having tea and strawberry Pop-Tarts together.
Really?
I was knocking on the door one day, and she was just someone you knew you had to look after because she had no family.
Yes.
And so she was saying how she got these Pop-Tarts. She didn't know what to call them, and she showed me the box, and she said, "These are so good." Well, But I used to, oh my God, they're awful. But anyhow, I used to make sure that she had plenty of them so that when I came back the next, couple of months later, she would have had, plenty of Pop-Tarts, and we'd have Pop-Tarts and tea
That's wonderful.
and talk. And then she's passed, and I had another one pass who had to put his wife in a nursing home, and he was so distraught about it, he passed.
Oh my God.
And I just had one pass yesterday, and it is a very special person, family very close to my heart, and so they really do become your family, and
do.
you really do get very
and they
attached.
depend on you.
Yes, and they get very, very attached
Yeah.
to you as much as you get attached to them.
Because
So
I know you go around knocking on every door, talking to
I
everyone.
do. Yeah, I do.
Everyone. How do you manage to do that, Diane?
It's not easy. And
Especially in the hot
sometimes,
sun.
well, sometimes I can't get to every house, and
Yes.
so I make sure I'm in there in the summer or whenever. I mean, I'm there. It doesn't matter when it is. I'm there.
You're there.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter when. Okay. I have seen very nice letters about you in the newspaper, better than the letters I get for the show in there.
Yes. Oh my gosh, they're beautiful, aren't
Are they really?
Yeah.
I've read a few of them.
Yeah. Well, see there again. That's from the constituent service.
It's from the
And-
work you do with everybody.
Yeah, and people want to thank me.
Yes,
and
they
that's
do.
a very nice way of doing it. The letters really were beautiful.
Weren't they
The
nice?
one yesterday made me cry.
Well, that happens to us. What would you like seeing? What would you like to see about changing on the council? But overall shape is the city in now. Let's go with that one.
Well, I think I don't think we really need to change the council, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But what shape is the city in? Holy cow. We've got a AAA bond rating. Let's start with that. My goodness, which means we have a better credit rating than the United States. We have the lowest combined county and city tax rate since 2003,
Really?
which is a huge deal.
That is a big deal.
We have money in the bank. Our bills are paid. We have some nice green policies in place, you know, so that we can save more money. And I'll tell you, most of the people in the state really envy Bowie.
Really?
Yeah, because
And I
because
think
of
you've
the
been a
things.
big part of that too, because you go
Well-
out there and fight if you were dying.
Well, yes, but you know, it's a team effort.
I know.
I will tell
I
you,
know.
this council works very, very well together. I have been to council meetings, you know, in years past, and seen so much animosity, and I thought, how can you get up there and work together? And this council works very well. We don't always agree.
Of course.
But,
It's like a marriage. You don't always
that's
agree
right,
in a marriage.
But we really work very well together. But I got to tell you, I am so proud of that AAA bond rating. I
That's
mean,
wonderful.
that's
That's
just,
wonderful.
yes, indeed. And the fact, too, is that with the money in the bank, we have not had to furlough anyone. Very attached. We have to lay anyone off.
That's wonderful.
We have not had to borrow any money to pay our bills or make our payroll. There are several cities in the state that have had to borrow money to make their payroll.
You're kidding.
Isn't that pitiful?
That's
I mean,
pitiful.
that's really pitiful. So that's due to not just this council, but councils of years before. They were all very good stewards of the taxpayers' money.
Right.
And because you couldn't be able to save money unless they weren't, unless they were good stewards. And so we're very fortunate that we've had the people in the past to help along the way.
You know what I believe too is I believe a woman should be president. Women, we know how to do it, Diane. We know how to do it. We should have a complete vice president, president, everyone. It should be a woman.
Well, you know
That's
how
what
I
I
feel
believe
about
in.
it.
Huh?
You
I know how you
feel
feel about it. I know. But that's the way it should be because we know how to run in twice already.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we've been budgeting always.
Yes, yes.
You know, we get since the time I'm in, you got
Right.
that little pittance and tried to make it work, and we did. We always did.
What can you tell me about the new city and why it did not go to a referendum?
The city?
Why?
Oh,
Why?
the city hall.
City Hall. I'm sorry, City Hall.
Oh.
And why it did not go to referendum?
Well, the charter is written in such a way that it didn't.
Now, what is a charter?
It's like.
A list of laws, 10 commandments?
Yes. Okay. It is. It's like when you make a corporation, you have your bylaws and your standing rules, and the bylaws, in order to change those, have to go through the state, and the standing rules don't. So it's like your list of bylaws. It's your list. It's your 10 commandments, your rules, and so it's written that it did not have to go. I was not on the council when they made the decision to build a new city hall. However, I was always in favor of it.
Okay.
Because this Ken Hill building, they grew out of it, you know, and because of the wide hallways, because it was an elementary school, you always thought there was a lot of room in here. But if you turned in and went into the offices, people were on top of each other. There was no storage space. There was the mayor's office was an afterthought, and it was a closet.
Tiny.
Well, it was
Yes,
a closet. It was a
I know.
storage closet. So how embarrassing. How do you bring economic development into your city when your mayor is in a little 6x9? I mean, it's really very
Or Fred
hard.
was in a closet.
So anyhow, so that's the reason it didn't go to referendum. However, there were at least a dozen public meetings, so people could come out, all the residents could come out and give the feedback as to site selection, the building, do I want to renovate this building that we're in? Or do we want to build a new building? The furniture and fixtures, we had an art contest. I mean, there was just so much that the residents were really involved. That is, if they wanted to
If
be.
they wanted to be involved, okay.
And there was at least a dozen. So I feel that they were really well informed about the building.
But then, have you heard about the big flood over there, though?
Oh, of course I did.
Oh, my God. We were talking about all of that money, and the building is not stable.
Well, the building's stable.
Then where did the rain go? Why did it
Well,
get in?
you know, anything you have, whenever a roof leaks.
It was the roof.
It was
I didn't
the roof
know it
that
was a
leaked,
brand new
yes.
roof. Okay.
Yeah, it was the roof that leaked. And, you know, you can have the shingles in your house or something missing in the front, but by the time the leak shows up, it's maybe in the back of the house.
Exactly, yeah.
And you have to find where the leak started.
Yeah.
It's a new building. It's going to have some burps.
Yeah.
And that's why the trailer for the contractor is still there, because they do what's called a punch list. And
What is a punch
list is something they go through, and they go and they say, okay, or frames, do the paint, or tighten up this, or stretch the carpet here. So each room is taken, each section by section, to see what was completed and what needs completion. I mean, when you're in a huge building like that.
That place is huge.
It is huge, and it's gorgeous.
I don't like it because I get lost.
I do too.
I do. I don't like it because I get lost when I go in there.
Bring your breadcrumbs. So So anyhow, they are aware, and they have to find where the leak is. It's going to take a while to find where the leak is.
It's going to probably be 9 or 10 times. Sometimes it takes.
Well,
I know my roof was.
Yeah, but no, the building is very stable. Don't even worry about that.
I like the wood inside there. I noticed that when I went in.
As a matter of fact, when we had the hurricane and that came through, we set up our command system. I mean, if the building weren't stable, we would never set up the command system in there.
What about the
emergency
earthquake
command.
too, Diane? I got thrown out of my own chair.
Let me tell you. I felt the aftershocks too.
Oh my!
A couple of days later, and a couple of days later, I woke up, and because they were pretty big, the aftershocks were like 4.8.
5.8.
Well, the original earthquake was, but the aftershocks were a little bit less. And I felt my bed trembling, and I woke up, I'm thinking, oh, I'm being possessed, my bed is levitating.
But I could see my family room roof going up and down.
But that was good.
Why?
Because if it was rigid, it would have snapped apart. So Levitt and all his, you know, we curse him for this, we curse him for that. We still have more money, more house than you'll ever get for your money anywhere. And it withstood these earthquakes because of the way it was built. It could move with the earthquake, and you know, all you got was some crooked walls.
But this was my family room that my late husband put on before he had his open heart surgery, and he died. But I mean, I was sitting in the chair,
and I was like fallen in.
I was like this, and I thought, next thing I know, I'm thrown out of the chair onto the floor. The pictures went flying off the walls. The china closet dishes all fell down inside.
Oh, yeah.
Diane, it scared the hell out of me.
Oh, it did. It was very frightening. And you know something? It felt like the atmosphere inside the house changed, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Did you feel like you were very closed?
Yes, I felt like I was being compressed.
Compressed, and you taking away your breath.
Yeah, it was very strange.
It was.
Yeah.
And of course, David was in West Virginia as usual, and I'm there all by myself with my sister. And she's outside cleaning the yard. She didn't feel nothing.
Well, no, not if you're outside. You don't feel it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it's inside where you're on all this rigid concrete flooring and all that you feel it more. Yeah, it was
scary.
Very strange.
It was very, very scary. You home by yourself too, or was Ava with you?
I was home by myself.
Yeah. What can I expect to get my driveways fixed? I've asked this question twice already.
Okay.
Okay, because my driveway sucks.
The driveway aprons have been the bane of everybody's existence for a while. We were doing it on a worst case scenario.
Okay.
So if people would call and they would say, my driveway is really so bad and I know they're going to be fixed and I don't want to spend any money fixing this, they would come out and look at it. And if it were really that bad, they would fix it. So that's why you see 1 or 2 or 3 on your street that's done, but not yours. So during this last budget session, there was the money in there for the driveway
enough
work.
Allocated for that?
And I asked them if we could have this completed in 5 years. So what we're doing is systematic instead of a worst case scenario, as we needed to change it, we'll do it systematically, street by street by street, and it will be completed in 5 years.
What I noticed too, some of my sidewalks out in front of the house had big cracks in them. So I watched the day the gentleman came. They picked up the broken pieces, Diane, but they didn't pour concrete into it. They put their own slab down. I'd never seen this before in my life.
Prefab slab.
Prefab slab in the holes, and it was done so quickly at the same time. But I'm just wondering how well it's going to hold up.
It's still concrete.
Well, I hope so.
As a matter of fact, it'll probably hold up better. If you've ever seen them pour concrete, I love to watch.
I love that. I
construction.
love that. It's
Well,
like
you know,
churning butter.
they'll do the whole strip, and it's all one piece, and then they come back and they cut those lines in with the tool. But that's not separate individual pieces.
That's right.
So if one cracks, that's going to crack all the way down. So if you're taking out that broken piece and putting in one piece,
Square.
that I think will be a little bit
You think it'd be better?
better, yeah.
Well, maybe they're trying to move it on up and make it better.
Well, let's hope so.
Let's hope so, Diane.
Jim Henriksen, our public works man, is really on top of everything. And
That's good.
yeah, and he's got an idea and a plan, and it's really good. Yeah.
Let's touch on this question real quick. Why are they having such big recyclable cans?
Aren't they fantastic? You can put a body in them.
I think they're good, but you got to fill them up for a couple of weeks before you even put them out on the street.
What it's doing is it's encouraging more recycling.
Really?
You would be amazed at the things you can recycle. So if we recycle more, that goes to the recycle bin, and we get money for that.
Then it's okay. I love it. I love it.
If
I'll
we
never
put
complain
it in
again.
the trash, it has to go to a landfill, and we pay for it. So your paper towels, your paper plates, if they don't have food, you know, on them, all these various things can go in that recycle bin, and you will find that you'll have more recyclables and less trash. I don't put my trash out maybe once a month because there's nothing. It's all going in the recycle.
I take it away, guys. Okay, if reelected, what are your 4 top goals? What are you going to do?
Oh, well,
To enhance it better, make it whatever?
I don't
4
like to
goals.
say what I'm going to do because
It takes everybody.
I wasn't elected to do what I want to do. I originally was elected to do what the constituents want. But what I would like to see,
Okay.
now that's a different thing.
I think I just read your question wrong.
Yeah, first and foremost, I really would love to have more senior housing.
Oh my God, I'm going to do a show on that next week.
Oh, we are losing our seniors to other places. They're leaving their homes, they're leaving the city they love, they're leaving the friends they love.
And family members, grandchildren,
Yeah,
everything,
because
Diane.
they need to go to someplace affordable and downsize. You know, no one at 90 years old needs to be rattling around in a great big old country club or what have you. They don't need to be taking the stairs. You know, so we need senior housing. We really are ripe for it. Most of on this end of Bowie, it's north of 50.
Yes.
Over 50% of the citizens are over 55. And then you have maybe 25% that are over 65, and it just goes on. We are a graying population in this area. Absolutely, we need senior housing.
You think we're all just getting too old too fast?
Is what? Oh,
Are
no.
we all just getting too old too fast, Diane?
You may be.
No, some days I feel like I'm about 20 years
I'm
old.
still
rearing to go.
39 and a half.
Okay, I'm 29 and a half.
So I really want to fight for that senior housing. We have 2 places that there could be senior housing. We have one up at Hilltop. They want to build townhouses back there. And I have been saying that you don't want townhouses because a senior, and they said that they would market to the senior. But a senior doesn't need the stairs. That's what they're leaving.
No.
And so they should put in like they have at Somerset Park.
Yes.
They're little bungalows. They're beautiful.
Those are so cute.
They are beautiful. And then there's the place at the marketplace where they've wanted to put in 384 apartments.
We don't need
Well, no, we don't, because it's too much traffic on our roads. It's too many children in our already overcrowded schools. But if it was condo, first of all, condo, because there's pride in ownership.
Right.
And senior living, seniors aren't on the road the same time we
No,
are.
they're not.
So they're not going to be there at rush hour and push things along,
Right,
you know, make
right.
it worse. So,
So that's one on your, Deborah. Give me some
yeah.
more.
Okay. I would like to see, and we are still fighting for this, and I don't know whether we're getting close or not, but I want us to have our own zoning authority.
Yes.
That is one of probably more important than anything, because then we could get senior housing. We have a lot of redevelopment going on.
Oh my God, yes.
And so when someone comes to us as a council and they have their plans, we try to tell them what we like, what we don't like, would they change this or that? And all they have to do is go to the county and say, this is my plan. They don't have to change what we've asked for. They can look at us in the face and say, okay, we'll do it. And then turn around and not do it.
That's two-faced people.
Well, but
That's the way I look at it.
They're businessmen.
Okay.
And their first and foremost is to make money.
Of course.
And of course they want to make money, and they've already paid for the plans, and they don't want to pay to have the plans changed. I mean, it's a two-sided sword, and I can see both sides, but I don't like the fact that, you know, we say don't do this, and somebody else can say, well, it's okay, you can go ahead and do it.
Oh, yeah.
So we are truly in need of the zoning authority ourselves. Yeah. And we need a stronger tax base.
Okay,
So
and one more. Give me
our
another.
Economic Development Committee, it works very hard, but we need more commercial here in order to get a stronger tax base.
Well, it's time for us to stop. Can you believe our 30 minutes is gone, Diane?
Because we talk about everything
We
else.
talk about everything else, but I just hope everything goes well for you. I know it will.
Thank you.
And I'll help you in any way I can.
Thank you, sweetie.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks for coming on. And thank you for watching.